YouTube? It's Brother Dennis. And as always, I give God all the glory for today. Peace and blessings to everybody. Happy 2025 to everybody. And to God be the glory. Hallelujah. Let's get it. So let's close up, let's wrap up 2024. We had our club meeting. Well, actually today is like January 20th, 21st, something like that, inauguration day. Today's inauguration day. Monday, inauguration day. I think it's the 21st, 20th, 21st. And I want to say, God bless America. And let's wrap up 2024. Racing season was up and down, as all y'all know. We did have our club meeting. Our combine meeting was postponed till next month because of weather, and I wanted to do this first video after that combine meeting, but I just couldn't wait any longer because things are starting to happen already in 2025. I want to update y'all on. So 2024, we didn't do that well. We didn't do that bad either. It was an improvement on 2023. Young bird season. I didn't race 2024 old birds, but I raced 2024 young birds, as y'all saw. And rest in peace to Broken Leg. She did win a diploma, so that's something to build on. We got a diploma at the club level for her, and I think we got one coming at the combine level also for her for 2024. But I got my bands for 2025, and usually that means that we're moving on to 2025. So last week, Friday, so it's been 8, 10, 11 days since I paired my birds. I paired my birds last Friday. I've had the lights on for 2 weeks now. I had my lights on since Thanksgiving, but I've only paired my birds since last Fridays when I paired them. And the eggs are starting to drop now. We got several eggs now, maybe like 10 so far out of 14 pair. So everybody's starting to breed. And concerning is the weather. It's supposed to be freezing these next couple of days. I've been adding pine needles almost every other day to try to get, I can see some of the hens really building good nests. Also see some of them don't care. And I think that's the domestic part of the bird. That's been racing pigeons have been domesticated for a long time, and I think the ones that are still more wild, and it seems like the more tamer the bird is, I don't know, the lesser nest building they do. It's like they're habituated. But like, for instance, my wildest pair, the ones that my Adrian P pair, the ones that are the rudest and meanest, build the best nest. So I actually let her build a nest, and I took her nest bowl, gave it to another pair, and she built another nest. You right? So some of my hens mated with each other, so I had to throw out. Like, I paired my birds, and like the next day they would lay eggs, so I threw those eggs out because I didn't think they would be good. I didn't think the male had enough time to fill them. So, but now we're starting to get eggs. Still too early to candle them. And Joe was telling me that it's best to leave your pairs alone. Most of my pairs, at least over half of them, are returning pairs from last year or birds that bred last year. I did switch a couple cocks with a couple hens. I got a new hen. I switched a cock on. I put my Wayne Hale birds together. The male and the cock, they went together last year. The cock bred a different hen, and the hen didn't breed. Well, anyway, we'll do a breeding video after this one. But I just wanted to talk about 2025 real quick. The combine meeting is coming up, and we still have 2 birds in the Florida Derby. That activation is coming up. The activation race was postponed, but I'm anxious to see how the 2 birds that I sent went. Why am I mentioning that? Because this YouTube channel is my plan for this YouTube channel is to get over 1,000 subscribers, to get it to where it can start adding revenue for the pigeons, so I can start sending more birds to one loft races. Because my holdup is I got a good core of birds here, and I'm anxious to prove it. And I want to send some birds to the one loft races, because the problem with my club racing is me. Physically and mentally challenged, and I'm not the best pigeon trainer yet. And I want to send my birds to an even playing field to really prove them. Sorry about the camera shaking and my birds are hitting it. But so why is that important? Because it takes revenue, it takes finances to send your birds to these one loft races. And I don't have that money. I don't have that money. So I need people to believe in my program, to either sponsor birds, we can go partners on them, or just like the videos. So if you want to help my birds without actually physically financing or donating or whatever, like the videos, subscribe to the YouTube channel, help a brother out. It's the godly thing to do. It's the Christian thing to do. It's the godly thing to do, right? We're all creators of one God, no matter what religion you are. We'll just leave that alone. We're all together. We're all in a brotherhood, whether you want to admit it or not. It doesn't matter what religion, race, creed, nothing. We're all together in this. We're all on the same earth. So I need the finances to, and that's what I'm not a beggar. I got pride. So that's why I tried to build this YouTube channel, build this platform to promote and help provide for my pigeons. So with that being said, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're at 940. We just need to get 70 more people on board to get us over to the 1,000. Then we could do the super chats, memberships. We could just do other things. Or you can just flat out sponsor good birds. If you like a pair, we'll go through the breedings. What birds we got going. We got some high powerful pigeons. And we're gonna go through them breedings. We're gonna have the old bird season to look at some of these birds. I have mixed feelings about this old bird season. I'm gonna tell you why. Because some of my birds, most of my birds that I have in this loft right here have been bred here, minus a couple. But most of them, even though most of them are either late hatches from this year or late hatches from last year, and they haven't really ranged and had their homing instinct really zeroed in. So I'm a little concerned about that. But I do have 7 or 8. It's 18 in here, but I have 7 or 8 really experienced birds that either went through the racing season this year or the racing season last year, and I feel good about them. So I'm gonna probably drop half my team when training starts the beginning of February, but the other half, I have some good H&P birds in here. I got a couple experienced Barnhart birds in here. I got some good birds in here. So I figured I grabbed the one bird that wasn't bred in my loft. But guess what this bird is? This bird is from Garland Evans. I don't know if y'all heard of him, but this bird is a hen. It's a 2023 or 2024, so it's this year. Got a yellow band on, and it's from Garland Evans. And I got 5 pair from him, and I ended up getting so it's got a GL band on. I don't know what club that is, but it's a beautiful bird. It's cold out here, but this bird was bred here, and it's a Hawkabait bird. Why I say that? Because it's a white bird. It stands out, but it made it through my 2024 racing season. Yep, 54-51. So it made it through my 24 racing season. Did pretty well there near the end, and it's one of the suspects we got here. So we're gonna see. We're gonna test our old birds out, and we're gonna get it moving. So basically the moral of this video is to say I'm still here. We're still grinding. We're breeding now. We're getting ready to get prepared for the old bird season. And I got some H&P birds I feel really good about in here. I feel good about a lot of the birds that have experience. I don't feel good about the lack of experience that some of my birds have. a club member had gave me a few birds, and I didn't you know what, I'm lying. That GL bird, I just remembered I had, that's Gold Leaf Club. That's my band. That's my band. That first young bird I showed you, that's actually a late hatch from this year. I don't know what I'm thinking. I bred this bird. See, my mind is a terrible thing to waste. Yeah, but this is 5485. So I had my band numbers were 5450 through 5490. So this bird is 5485. So that means this bird was a late hatch. This was near the end of my bands, my gold leaf bands. And what happened was I had my old birds in here, hens, males, and females. I put them together when I started picking out my breeding pair. So what I did was I turned the lights on. I have only two lofts. So my loft over there is my breeding loft, but I had all my males in one side, all my females in the other side. So when I wanted to breed them and turn the lights on, I took my old bird racing team out, the males and the females, right? And put them over here in one section together. Then I left all my breeder cocks on one side, all my female hens, all my breeding hens on the other side. Why'd you do that, Dennis? So I could turn the lights on. So I turned the lights on to start activating their breeding hormones or whatever. And I didn't want to have my old birds in there and mess with their molt and all that. And I didn't want to get birds riled up into the breeding phase that I didn't want to breed, that I didn't plan on breeding from. So I pulled out my old bird racing team. Since I don't have a old bird racing loft, I only have one racing loft, I had to put them all in the same section. I actually have an empty section over there. I guess I could split the males and the females up, but actually I was going to use that section for my young birds this year. But I could split them up because some of them are, but they shouldn't be breeding. When you make a long story short, because North Carolina has like a mild fall, two of my birds ended up breeding, and this guy here was a late hatch off that. So I have a pair of these that like I said, I don't feel really good about because they haven't been ranged, they haven't been homed, they haven't been none of that in yet. They're just late hatch birds, but we'll see what happens. Like if they're over here on this side, they're gonna race, except for the two droppers. Like this white bird, so Barnhart, that she's her third. She's a 2023. Yeah, because she got green band on. So I got some Barnhart. I got some good birds over here. Like I said, you see the white bird up there. This bird up here, my friend Willie gave me. This one in the corner. So I got this bird from a club member, Willie. I hate when I clean this loft and they're always stepping in poop and getting splash of poop all over me. It's one thing I don't like about pigeons is poop. It's like, reminds me of dog poop. But yeah, it's panicking a little bit. I think it's a cock. It's got a big neck and head on it. I got this bird from Willie. I'm not holding it right. I don't let it go. But anyway, got this bird from Willie. Let's see what the band number is. Got poop all over my hands now. So it's a Foy's band. Yeah, so this bird is from Willie. So I got, I think, 3 from him. Got one grizzle in here is from him. Up there at the top, if you can see it, right there is from him. And I got another one from him somewhere. Oh, right here behind me. I don't think you can see it. It's right there. That's from Willie too. So I got 3 birds from Willie. 3 birds from Willie. So, and they want to get out. I got the little door right here behind the camera. That's how they get out, but I'm in their way. My bird, I need to spend more time with my birds. This bird here is a bird from last year. I don't know if y'all remember my first young bird season. I had a bird named Captain that did very well. It's off to Mike. I got some birds from Mike from Rocky Ridge. Birds with no pedigree, no history really. I since moved off those birds this year. I'm not, those birds aren't in my breeding program this year, but the offspring are still here. So I have a few of them left. The offspring, they're homed here. So I moved off of them for 2 reasons. I didn't know the background. They were starter birds basically. So I didn't really, even though they produce quality birds, at least one of the pairs did. The other birds didn't really produce anything. That's still here. But the tough guy bird and his mate, they produced Captain and a couple of my other pigeons. This is one of them. This was a late hatch from last year. I decided not to race because it was a late hatch from 2023. Right, yeah. But I have high hopes for this bird this year. Yeah, 764. It's a Fayetteville band. Yeah, so I have high hopes for this bird this year. You know, off that pair. Any bird that's left here that I bred, I have high hopes for. I had high hopes for all of them. My only problem is, like I said, I didn't settle a lot of them. Settle them. I didn't range. They haven't ranged. But once I let them out, they've been out a few times. Willie's bird's been out a few times. So I'm hoping that they just start ranging. They're all strong on the wings. So that way, if it's not like they're young birds. Even the 2 late hatches are like October, November born, right? So this is already January, February. So when I let them out February 1st, those birds will still be like 4 months old. So if the older birds take off, they'll have the stamina and the strength, hopefully, to keep up. If not, oh well. Like I said, I got 18 of them in here. You know, hopefully I get down. Hopefully I can keep all of them. But in reality, I like to at least have like a 10 old bird team, and I think I got that. So we're gonna race old birds. We're gonna come at you with another video. But main part of this video is to tell you that, look, let's freaking go, right? Let's go. 2025, we're trying to go. We're trying to take that next step up. We're not playing no games. Like amateur hours over. We're coming. You know what I'm saying? We're coming to crush all the haters. We're coming to prove a point. I got people like Joe, Tommy, Tack Young Love, who donated me some birds last year. Joe, who's donated his time. Mr. Wayne Hall, that was my first mentor that tried to help me. You know, Mr. Garland Evans, who donated his birds, some of his birds to me. James from Robinson Law. Silvio from Matus, Adrian P. Like, I could just go on and on, like calling out these names, but it's time to say to these people, thank you, and thank you for your support. Now watch us cook, and so they can know that helping people is not a waste of their time, because I got a lot of that my first year at the Fayetteville Club. A lot of the older flyers were like, man, we'll just waste our time with this guy. This guy ain't serious. I'm serious. Because I see it already. There's a lot of guys that come in to the meetings but don't fly birds. They just hang out. They want to do it, but they just don't do it. But this is my 3rd year. I got 2 lofts in my yard. I got a breeding pen over there. And this is like my 3rd, this will be my first old bird season, but this will be my 3rd young bird season. So we're not considered a novice, I don't think, anymore, as far as the awards and stuff go, rookie flyer and all that. And we're at a severe deficit. You know, and I have no experience as far as, like, some of these guys have been racing pigeons 40 years. But if I can get, like Joe, some of that knowledge and that mentorship, it could cut down my learning curve. And I've seen the results of that this young bird season as I started making progress with some of my birds. I made some big major mistakes that cost me a lot of birds. And now I realize that it's not the quantity of birds. I'm not trying to breed 100 birds. I'm not trying to breed 50, 70 birds. Maybe I'm trying to breed 50, but not 70, not 90, not 100. Even though I got like 100 bands, I'm not trying to breed all those. I'm trying to breed maybe 40 for club level and like 10 one-loft race birds. I think that's a good goal. And then I'm trying to put them birds into action. So I need them 10 loft races. We're looking at the Martinez Classic. I'm going to see about the Florida Derby, but I want to do the Martinez Classic because some of the guys, some of the younger guys, Brandon and Gabe, they're on fire for these one loft races, and they're gonna be I'm gonna send some birds to the races as a club, not as a club, but as members of that club. Like Brandon, he knows some, so if he sends birds to a certain race, I'm gonna try to send some to that race. Martinez Classic, I think we're aiming for that. I think there's a race in Orlando, we're aiming for that. Me personally, the Robbie Whaley guy, he flies on our combine in our area. He's from North Carolina. He does really well in the black gold race in Texas Dash for Cash. So I want to send some birds to that race, right? So if I'm trying to pick out 5 races and send 2 birds, that's 10 birds. I think that's a good goal for this year. Always going to participate in the Little Loft on the Hill. Whatever he does, I want to be able to be included in that. So I figure if I can get sponsorship and help, if I can sponsor half those birds myself and get 5 people to help me, or this channel to help me sponsor the other 5, I think 10 birds would be a good goal, right? So 10 of my best birds, well, I feel are the best birds. And how do we prove that? By racing the clubs, racing the old birds, racing them, seeing what pairs are producing, and moving on from there. The Garland Evan birds that I have in my breeding loft, I didn't want to talk about them right now, but I will. I got 5 pairs of Garland Evan breeding pairs that was gifted to me from Garland Evans himself, because he retired from, not from racing, but from raising the pigeons. So he entrusted somebody else to be his loft manager, because he's an older gentleman now, and the maintenance and the upkeep is too much for him. But he races primarily at the Gulf Coast Classic and does very well. And like I said, 40, 50 years of buying high-priced pigeons, breeding them, and racing them and winning and all that. He has a certain level of bird. Well, he gave those stock pairs away a lot. He gave a lot of them to the Fayetteville Club and donated them to members of the Fayetteville Club. I got 5 of those pairs. Now, most of the birds that I got are offsprings of his winners and stuff. So, we're gonna breed them together and see what happens. So, like I said, we got some high-powered birds in here. We got the same genetics. Brandon gave me a bird from the AFL. Aldo or Awful family loft. A hen I put with my Sharkey Ornette bird over there, male, that I got from Curtis from Air Champ Loft, who did very well this year, who crushed his club and did good in the one loft races. I got a cock from him. So like I said, I got some good birds, and I'm not a fool. I know I'm the one holding them back. So I'm gonna give some one loft racing birds out. I'm gonna place a couple birds in my club members, like Joe, 2 or 3 birds that I want to test. I want to test that pair, that breeding pair. Like I definitely want to give him an Adrian P bird this year, because I know they're really good birds. A James bird from James Family Robinson Lofts. That pair I want tested hard, so I want to give, because these birds I want to test them hard and build a good foundation. So I want to get the best of the best out of those Gannis birds. I mean, out of those, they're mostly Gannis birds anyway, but out of the Garland Evan bird. This guy, I didn't want to start rambling like this at this video. I wanted to do a different breeding video, but that's the thing about these vlogs. It just takes you certain places, man. That's a good looking cock. Who is that? See, that's my that's the Adrian P cock from last year that I didn't race because it's a late hatch. So I'm telling you, I got some good birds, and I'm looking to prove it this old bird season. I'm looking. So whoever is left this old bird season, whoever gets going, like gets it. So let me show you this bird. This is off that Curtis from Air Champ Lofts. Let me give him a shout out. Curtis, I'm sorry, I seen you just lose your money. One of his birds, one of his money winners died. The post office held his bird for like 5 days and it died in the box. I seen the video. He just released it, and I still having trouble holding birds. That's what I'm saying. I hold my own birds back. But this is a small cock. Look at this bird. It's a small bird. It's a cock. And it's off of that male that I got. It was a late hatch, so I didn't race it. But it's been homed in, settled in and all that, routed some. But this bird, it's a 20. Here's the band. Right here, green, see it? Let me see the band number. So So we can go back and look at it. So this is a Fayetteville band. It's my band. 23. I don't got no glasses on, so it's 769. So Mr. 69 here, right? Got Mr. 69 here. This is a cock, guys. This is what's winning. This is a medium-sized bird, the Indiana Hoosier type bloodline. And that cock that I have, both his parents, I believe, if I can go back and look at the pedigree, but the cock that I have is a Sharkey Ornette braid cock. Both his mother and father were top 10 finishers at the Indiana Hoosier different years. So like Curtis, who spends a lot of money on pigeons, bought like the 8th place finisher from like 2021. And I think the 2nd or 3rd place finisher or litter or brother nestmate from 2021, bred them together. And that's the type of birds that he sends out. And he sent me one. I have one. So, or somebody else bred them and he bought them from that person and sent me one. So I have a cock off that. And he's producing the right body type, the right size bird. It's just that I don't have it. So these are the type of birds I'll be sending out. I don't really know how to do all that vibration check and all that. I don't even hold my birds right, which is a disservice to my birds. So for all you experienced guys that are just gonna hate on me for not being further along, that's fine. But I'm getting there. But so first of the month we'll be worming these birds out. I might just do it now, but the water's freezing every now and then, so I'll get these birds wormed and the coccidia treatment going and get him ready for old bird season. But he's ready to go. He wants to get out of my hands. He's not tame. They're not. There's a thing about, do you want really tame pigeons or do you want winning pigeons? Right? So, yep. See, Mr. 69. Remember that band number. Let's see what he does. But yeah. So any bird that I fail with, it's not the bloodline. It's me. Like when my Adrian P birds all fail, it's not them. It's me. When I send them to experienced flyers and one-off races and then they don't do well on an even playing field, then we'll discuss it. But Adrian P, for example, I'm just saying for example, because Adrian, I don't know if y'all know this, but I got my very first pair of racing pigeons from Adrian, and they were a gift from a YouTube channel, from a YouTube video. I learned about pigeon racing watching his videos. So to me, Adrian probably don't even know who I am, don't even remember me. But to me, he holds a fond place in my pigeon racing career. So I'm always speaking highly of him because I see Jason Jordan and like Matus Loft and I think Mike from Rocky Ridge. I see all these guys and they all mention that they have Adrian P birds in their loft. And I do too. So I know if all them guys have faith in that bloodline and him and his uncle are highly like decorated and great racers and acclaimed winners and all this and all that, then it has to be me, right? But most of my birds that made it through this year were Adrian P birds. Most of my birds I have left from last year, Adrian P birds. So they're like versatile, adaptable. They're just good birds, and people. And so I want to, even though I don't know the pedigrees on them, like who cares? It's results that matter, and I want to start my own consistent bloodline. And if those birds are if I race birds, let's say I race 3 years of young birds and old birds, and at the end of the 3 years, most of the birds that are left in my old bird loft, whatever those bloodlines are, those are the bloodlines I'm moving forward with. So I gave myself 3 years. So this will be my first old bird season. So after this old bird season and next old bird season. So this will be my 3rd young bird season and then my 4th young bird season. So I don't know if I'm saying that right, but this time next year, I'll know by the birds I got left in this loft right here what birds to start getting rid of out of my breeding coop and what birds to focus on. and then that'll start my own bloodline, like my own when I'm trying to win. And I have a feeling most of my North Carolina birds, Tachyon, Joe, Wayne Hale, and my Adrian P birds, my Curtis bird, I got a feeling that most of my birds, it was hard for me to get rid of my Mike Rocky Ridge birds. But what played a factor in that was when he gave them to me, he told me when he sold them to me, he told me that they were starter level birds, they were good birds. He was moving off of them because he wanted pedigrees on all of his birds and that they would be good to get me started. And they did that. I have a couple of the offspring left here, but now I moved on. Now I'm going to that next level and then the next level. I'm not at the level where I could buy $3,000 birds. I'm not there, but I'm at the level where somebody gave me an offspring from that bird and I'm taking them and going from there. And we're going to build this from the mud, from the bottom up. That's a new beginning. This is a new beginning. And we're building this on a nickel. Like, we're building it on a nickel, and we're going to build a fortune off a nickel. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to keep going all in, pushing our chips in the middle. And all I got to say is witness me. Like, what my man saying, Furiosa, Mad Max, witness me. I want y'all to witness me. I'm taking my shot. I'm shot calling it. Let's freaking go. Hey, mental health is serious. Take your mental health serious. If you struggle with mental health, don't be afraid. If you try medicine, if you try psychiatrists, try God, try spirituality, try looking up for your answers. Okay? People don't always have the answers. Sometimes it has to come from above. Okay? So I choose to trust in God for my spirituality, right? I choose to lean less on religion and more on spirituality. That will make sense to some of y'all. Some of y'all will be like, what's the difference? Okay, but to those, seek help for your mental health before it gets too late. Support physical disability, support, PTSD, anxiety and depression is real. God bless everybody. Peace in this world. Let's make love, not war, And I'm going to work on finding a way to close my videos out instead of just rambling like I'm rambling. But, it's real. When I talk, it's real, right? Ravens, come on, guys. Stop pooping the bed. It's hard being a Ravens fan because most of our Ravens fans suck. Fire this guy. Get rid of this guy. Man, look, at the end of the year, only one team can win. But it needs to be us, Ravens. Come on now. Get it together. Tank Davis, do what you do. I'm a Baltimore supporter. That's my hometown. So, Commanders, a.k.a. Redskins, do your thing, right? And witness me. Beware. I'm coming. I'm calling my shots. Here I come. If you're in the Fayetteville Club, let's get funky. Let's represent. Let's do what we got to do. Gold Leaf Club. I can't wait for y'all to join the combine. Right? Make everything a little more interesting. I don't know. I wish my goal is not my goal, but I would really love if our club had like a Garner Smithfield branch, to where our club, I love the Fayetteville Club, I love the guys in my club, I don't want to leave the club, but I would like a club in my area too. So we'll see how that goes, man. But good luck to everybody during breeding season. Good luck to your old bird season. Good luck to anybody. We love everybody and everybody. I need to start making bully videos again. I don't have the strength for 2 channels. So I need to start making some bully videos. I actually need to start making some just dentist videos to where I could just tell the world how I feel, because there's a lot of stuff that's going on that I feel a certain way about in the world. And maybe I should everybody else has a podcast. Maybe I should start one. But, we'll see. Like a real podcast, like keep it real. But I don't know what to do with my hair, so I'm just letting it grow. I got a big bald spot in the middle. That's my problem. So I don't know what to do. I was thinking about growing a mullet in the back and just cutting it off. I don't know. I was rambling, but I haven't been on YouTube so long, man. I just give y'all something to talk about. I got some birds. Look. I got some Spanish peanuts. I'm gonna try giving them, tame them a little bit, because I want to be able to grab them without them stressing and know I'm not gonna hurt them. Dang, dude. That's one of the willy birds. I'm anxious, man. I want to get back to pigeon flying, and it's coming. Old bird season's coming. I liked last year I had to wait so long, and I'm so glad this year I could race my old birds, because it's you know, it's like when you had to wait like 6 months for football. It's a long wait. Well, anyway, I'm gonna start this video off by saying God bless you, man. Peace and blessings to everybody.